Okay guys, welcome back. Sorry about the echo. Today we're working on the Civic. So what do we plan on doing to the Civic? Well, as you see, it's in parts. Doors are off, fenders are off. Hood's still on because we're not going to paint the hood. There's a reason. So as you see with the hood, it is marked out what I want to do. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to cut this hood at least half of the circumference. I'm not going to call it a circumference because it's a circle, but half of the surface is going to be cut. We're going to put a plexiglass window in it because I want to show off that engine bay. We did a nice job shaving things. It's going to be nice and power coated. I want to show it off. So we're not going to paint the underside of the hood until that's done. Unfortunately, I was pricing up some plexiglass and it's like $250 a sheet. And that's kind of a little bit on the expensive side in my eyes. So what we're going to do is I found a 3x4 sheet 1/4 inch off of Amazon for 115 bucks prime. So we're going to order that up. It should be just enough, I think. So what we're going to do today is we are going to prep the jams. So we're going to have to scuff up all this. I've already started there on both sides. We're going to get it taped up. And then I got the heat on right now because my plan is to go until it's ready to be painted. So today we are going to paint the jams, inside the doors, inside the fenders, so we can get them all put back on. Fenders probably won't go back on right away due to the fact is we're going to wrap these in carbon fiber. So if you're new to the channel, we have talked about making carbon fiber molds. We are going to make a lot of molds for a lot of parts, but it doesn't seem feasible, smart to do it for this. I'm not making more than one. It's literally a show car, show truck, daily driver. I'm not doing it for a weight reduction. I'm doing it for the look. It's purple carbon fiber. I'm doing like a goldish brown and purple on the Civic truck. So I think it would look good, and it matches the lip kit that's going carbon fiber as well. So this is going to be an overlay, which literally means it's going to be a stock fender, and we're going to wrap the outside of it carbon fiber. It will still be steel. Obviously, it's going to be a little heavier than a normal fender, but it's going to be the look I want. So on our neons and our SRT builds, we are making molds because we have 3 of them. We have 3 SRTs, 4 neons. We'll say 4 neons altogether. So why buy fenders when we can build them? So that's the whole reason behind that aspect, but this aspect we're going to wrap. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to take off all the rubbers. We're going to need to scuff it up. There is, I think on this door, a little bit of rust we need to address. So I can see it's peeling there. So I'm going to have to grind that, make sure there's not a hole. It's not going to be, obviously. And I've already grounded a lot of this out to make sure it wasn't a hole before we started. So I'm going to finish cleaning this up. Probably put a little fiberglass right there, or 2-part epoxy is probably the best, to be honest. And then I'll get it in primer, and then we'll paint it. Honestly, I should prime it. I'll probably end up buying, and I'm not a big fan of it, the spray can primer, just because I don't want to have to prime it and wait till tomorrow to paint it. It's being painted today. I might, this is a big might, I might even just clean it up, sandblast it, fix the lip a little bit because it is bent up. And I might even just take some bed liner rocker guard and just blow it in. That way I don't need to prime it because you won't see the transition of the feathered paint to this. Or I might try to see how that high build spray can primer is. I really don't know. It'd be a first for me using that stuff, and I'm kind of not a fan of spray on stuff. So less talking, more working, I guess. Let's get on with this. Okay guys, prep the door. I did the fenders off camera and the door jams real quickly. So this one I'm gonna have to clean this up obviously, and then I was thinking what would be the best thing to do with this. So you'll see that there is a little bit of rust still down. I'm gonna take probably a grinder wheel, like a cutoff wheel, something small, get in there as best as possible. I did sandblast it, but it's not the best. So I thought to myself, what would be the dirty? So this is what I come up with. There is a couple patches in the floor that we did. So it's been just fiberglassed after it's been welded. So there is a couple patches we did in the floor, guys. You can't see it because of the amount of dust. So we welded in patches, then we fiberglassed it, and then we left it. So we'll vacuum the interior out. We're going to knock down the fiberglass. I'm going to weld in supports for that back, well, the back cab, I'm going to call it. And then what we're going to do today, instead of painting the door jambs and rushing, I'm going to pour 15 the floor, and then I'm going to pour 15 the bottom of this door, just so it will dehydrate any rust from coming back. So we're going to clean this up a little better. We're going to paint this with some pour 15. We're going to paint the floor with some pour 15 where we put our patches and stuff. That way it cleans that up. Once the interior or the jambs have been painted, we can get the interior back in. So we can start washing all the panels and stuff, getting it back in. Obviously, the gray interior is a no-no. It's not going to stay. But instead of adding more and more and more and not getting this finish, we're going to put the gray interior back in for now. We're going to wash it with soap and water, get it all back together, finish off our wire tuck. That way we can start swapping. The pedals are already in for the 5-speed, but the 5-speed assembly itself isn't in. So we can get that stuff done and make this a running and driving car. Once it runs and drives, I'll worry about the dash. For anyone that's been following the build, I think flock it with some black, I think. So it'll be like a black suede. And then I want to do some carbon fiber throughout the interior as well. We are doing the headliner before the car show and the back sub box. So when I say back sub box, we're going to obviously make a back wall here, right? But I'm going to do that in carbon fiber. So I'm going to build a sub. Extremely dusty in here now. So as you see, you'll see the spot right here, the glass and the rusty piece of metal that was patched in and never done nothing with. So I'm just going to knock that down with probably a buffing wheel on the grinder, and then I'll just paint it. The rest looks really good, same with both sides. The thing with Dom is once you open the can, you close it, then you got to really mess up the can to open it again. So I've used a little bit to paint the bottom of the floor. So in other words, this can will be no good after I open it, so I got to use what I can. So if there's leftover, I'm just gonna do the whole floor right over top of the soundproofing and everything. It's not gonna hurt nothing. So as you've seen right here, I'm gonna take the grinder right now and get it. So I got a cutoff wheel and like a 2-inch, 3-inch disc, and I'm just gonna clean that up as best as possible. I'll bend that lip back down, and then I'm gonna brush that on and through here. And then tomorrow when it dries, we can seam seal it back up so it looks like factory, and then we'll paint tomorrow. So I'm thinking this is probably the best bet other than putting the bottom of the door on, which I didn't want to do from the get-go because it wasn't all the way through. So I'm just trying to prolong it. So will this work? I hope so. For how long? I have no clue. So I'm just hoping that, you know, I know at one point in time I'm going to put a door on this, but I'm hoping it won't be for a couple years. So give me a chance to get some use out of this. And then that way I can decide if I'm keeping the car. So I'm just covering up any bare metal. And then obviously what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to have to feather it out when it comes time, right before paint. And then right before paint, I will end up putting some seam sealer in the back of its spot. So as you see here, it literally just went over the rust. Like I said, it was sandblasted when I originally did it the first time, so I didn't need to sandblast it a second time. It was only a spot sandblaster. They don't really work the best to begin with. The paint itself, the DOM 15 or the Pour 16, I should say, or the Pour 15, is like self-leveling. It doesn't take much. So what it's designed to do is get into the crevices of the rust after you knock off any large flakes of rust, and then you put that on, and it will dehydrate the rust and stop it from spreading. So I don't know, never done it this way before. Usually I'd cut it out, put a piece in, but where it wasn't a hole, I didn't want to do it. And here's the sandblaster for the spot sandblaster right here. So now what we need to do is we need to get into this one. We're going to just knock that down so it's smooth. I don't want to knock it down too far so it shows the weld, and I'm not trying to make it flat because the carpet covers it. So I'm going to knock that down. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to blow it out, and then we're going to paint the floor, and then we are going to do the back part as well, and then that should be good to go. So I kind of cheated, as you've seen. I literally just poured it on the floor, spread it around with a paintbrush, and that is done. So I'm gonna do the whole floor just for added protection, because I can't really put the lid back on that because it's pretty well done now anyways. So I'll just use it up and then we'll move on with it. So enjoy, guys. So as you see, the floor is done. I didn't do the center console part of it due to the fact is there wasn't enough, and probably the biggest reason is it doesn't usually get rusty. So I only did the spots where the moisture might sit. This would help it out a little bit. So with that done, it takes 24 hours to fully cure before I can paint, which means I can't touch the door until tomorrow. So hopefully by tomorrow, what I'll do is I will scuff this up, I'll feather it out a little bit, and then I'll put a new piece of seam sealer where it should be, and then this will be ready to paint. I'll finish prepping the last door. We'll tape up the car and it's ready for color. So tomorrow we'll have color on the doors, fenders, and then we'll get the doors back on. With the doors back on, we can get the interior back together. So what we're going to end up doing is we'll get the carpet in. We've got to clean the carpet because it's gray and it's filthy. We do have black seats, so I don't know if I should stain my carpet or paint my carpet black to match the seats and then do like the gray dash and gray door panels and stuff like that. I think that'd probably be the best bet. And it might help with the cleaning of the carpet as well. So leave a comment down below, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, we'll go from there, guys.